So finally guys, we reached the last part of our 10-part video special. Again, this is Jester of MTG Jester YouTube channel. So today, we open the last guild kit. So this time, we need to express our creative side, mixing different species. We are scientists. We intertwine science and its evolution with the unstable current of life. Because today, we will swim into the minds of those in the Simic combine. So, Simic Guild is comprised of two colors, the green and the blue colored mana. So, before we open this one, we will get again a pack from our box. So, here we got a Commander Legends Draft Booster Pack. So, we'd like again to thank Mr. Jonel Dumlao of Ordo Online Hobby and Card Shop for this pack of ours. And lastly, we have to thank Mr. JR Shan Korean for our final guild kit today. So, he also owns the Nisa in Hikaru Hobby Shop. So, we can start unboxing our guild kit now. So, just the same as from way back or from the past videos, it contains the same items, but only different is the mark they have. So, here it has the Simic Combine emblem. So, here says Simic Combine. So, welcome to the Simic Combine. This box contains the materials you need to delve into the deepest mysteries of biology and bring new truths to light. Let nothing stop your discovery. So there you go. So here we have our standard deck box with the Simic Combine emblem. Like a waving tree. And a sticker and their insert. So we will read what the Simic Combine have for us. So here, Simic Combine research practices. Analyze every living thing you see, from the smallest tadpole to the mightiest dragon. Each one holds unique secrets of life, ready to be unlocked through careful study. Then, you may modify your own body as you see fit, excluding the list of Class 4 restricted advantages. So, however, modification of another's body without their express permission will not be tolerated. So, only voluntary. Again, learn to see the patterns of all around you. Let them illuminate truths that transcend species. When you study a life form, identify its weaknesses, then eliminate them. If you engineer an aquatic creature, remember to include gills. This can be surprisingly easy to overlook. Then lastly, it is nature's job to create life. Ours is to perfect it. So there you go, the Simic Combine. And the feature here is the one helming the box. So Zegana, Utopian Speaker. Here we have our 20-sided dice, which is also underwhelming because it doesn't fit the color of the Simic Combine. It should be green and blue, but this here has the colors of the Celestia in their print, so it's a white with the green background. Then also we have our guild pin. We have our pre-con deck, and lastly we have the featured card, Zegana Utopian Speaker. So Zegana Utopian Speaker is a 4 to cast 4/4 creature, or legendary creature rather, Merfolk Wizard. So 2 generic and one set of Simic colors, one blue and one green. Then when it enters the battlefield, if we control another creature with a +1/+1 counter on it, we draw a card. And also it holds also the ability Adapt. So adapt is the current ability of the Simic combine. So here it says pay 6. So 4 generic and 1 set of Simic mana. Adapt 4. So adapt says here, if this creature has no +1/+1 counters on it, we put 4 +1/+1 counters on it, equal to the adapt numbers. So also has here, each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it has trample. So this one is good for decks that cares about +1/+1 counters. So there you go. So before we reveal also the content of our Precon, we will just set this all aside. So we have space. Then just move this to the other side. There you go. Now we will open our Precon, and the one revealing, or the first card revealed here, is Gyre Sage or Gyre Sage. So Gyre Sage is a 2/2 cast 1/2 creature elf druid. So 1 generic and 1 green that has evolved. So evolve is the second ability that the Simic combine got when we visited Ravnica for the second time. So it says here, evolve is whenever a creature enters the battlefield under our control, if that creature has greater power or toughness than this creature, then we put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. It also has the ability to tap, then it adds a green mana for each +1/+1 counter on Gyre Sage. So if we have 10 +1/+1 counter from Gyre Sage, we can produce 10 mana. Next, where we have is a Vine-Lasser Kudzu. So Vine-Lasser Kudzu is a 2/2 cast 1/1 creature plant. So 1 generic and 1 green. It says here, it's like a landfall. So whenever a land enters the battlefield under our control, put a +1/+1 counter on Vine-Lasser or Vine-Lasher Kudzu. Flavor text says, it grows to hate you. Next we have rare a legendary. So Borel of the Hawkblade, a 2/2 cast 1/4 legendary creature, human monk or human merfolk rather. So 1 generic and 1 set of Simic color. So pay a Simic mana, then tap this creature, double the number of each kind of counter on target artifact, creature, or land. So for example, a creature has a vigilance counter, a trample counter, and a +1/+1 counter. It will double each of those, not just one counter from that creature. So Borel says here, I used to hurl rocks and eat scraps of meat burned over a fire. Look at what I've become and tell me Simic does not hold infinite possibilities. So Borel of the Hawkblade is also one of the maze runners during the Dragon's Maze set. So he is the representative of the Simic combine during that maze running activity. Next we have here a Cytoplasm or Cytoplast rather Rootkin, a 4/2 cast 0/0 creature elemental mutant. So 2 generic and 2 green in mana. So it has the ability Graph. So Graph was the first ability the Simic combine acquired when Ravnica plane was introduced to us. So it says here Graph 4. So this creature enters the battlefield with 4 +1/+1 counters on it. So this 0/0 will be a 4/4. Then whenever another creature enters the battlefield, we can move a +1/+1 counter from this creature onto that creature that came in. So there you go. It will go well with Zegana also. So we can put 1 counter to Zegana to draw 2 when it comes to play. So it says here also, when it enters the battlefield, we put a +1/+1 counter on each other creatures we control with a +1/+1 counter on it. So it will not include itself, but it will give a +1/+1 counter to those creatures already in play that has a +1/+1 counter. Then it has also the ability, Pt.10 generic, we can move a +1/+1 counter from target creature we control to Cytoplasm Rootkin. There we go. Our next rare is Phantom Mage, and our first word also. So Phantom Mage is a 4 to cast 1/1 creature human wizard. So 2 generic and 2 set of Simic, or 1 set of Simic color. So it has the evolve ability. And whenever a +1/+1 counter is put on a Phantom Mage, you may draw a card. So there you go. This is also our first word. Phantom. Or Phantom. Depends on how you pronounce it. So next we have Omnibian. So Omnibian is a 4 to cast 3/3 creature frog with 3 eyes. So Omnibian can be paid with 1 generic, 1 set of Simic color, and 1 extra green. So it has, tap this creature, target creature becomes a frog with base power and toughness 3/3 until end of turn. So it makes another creature same as it. So the Simic research note says here, this creature has hyper evolved chameleonic or chameleonic abilities. It no longer mimics its surroundings, instead forcing them to take on its form. So there we have a fat frog here. Next we have a legendary creature rare, a Mummervig Simic Visionary with the new art. Same art with the from the Bolts, I think, lore. So Mummervig is a 5 to cast 2/2 legendary creature elf wizard. So 3 generic and 1 set of Simic colors. And whenever we cast a green creature spell, we may search our library for a creature card and we reveal it. Then if we do, we shuffle our library and put that card on top of it. And whenever we play a blue creature spell, we can reveal the top card of our library, and if it's a creature card, we can put that in our hand. So if we will play a multicolor blue-green spell while this one is in play, we can search for that creature and directly put that creature in our hand. So there you go. So this is our third legendary. Next we have Progenitor Mimic, and this will be also our third word. My apologies, this will be our second word. So second word will be Progenitor. So Progenitor Mimic is a 6 to cast 0/0 creature shapeshifter. So 4 generic and 1 set of Simic color. So we can let this creature enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it has, at the beginning of our upkeep, if this creature isn't a token, create a token copy that's a copy of that creature. So for example, we copy a Omnibian, then at the beginning of our upkeep, this creature will produce an Omnibian token. There you go. It will be 2. So this is a mythic also. Next we have another legendary creature. So it's Experimental Grudge. So Experimental Grudge is a 6 to cast for 6 legendary creature who's mutant. So 2 generic and 2 sets of Simic colors. So Experimental Grudge has all activated abilities of each creature or each other creature with a +1/+1 counter on it. And it has also the ability tap, then we put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And Mummervig says here, this is the one, says here, of course, it will grow beyond control. It was designed to choose its own evolution. There's our fourth legendary. Next we have Simic Sky Swallower. So Simic Sky Swallower is a 7-2 cast, 6-6 creature Leviathan. So 5 generic and 1 set of Simic color. Has flying, trample, and also shroud. And also Memory Rig says here, we bred out the shortcomings of the species' natural form and replaced them with assets of our own design. Then next we have also a Simic Ascendancy and our third word also. So our third word will be Ascendancy. So Simic Ascendancy is a 2-2 cast enchantment. So 1 set of Simic in colors. It has the ability pay 3, 1 generic and 1 set of Simic mana. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature we control. And whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on a creature we control, put that many growth counters on Simic Ascendancy. Then at the beginning of our upkeep, if Simic Ascendancy has 20 or more growth counters in it, we win the game. So this will be like a alternate win con to +1/+1 counters deck. So there you go. You also have here Void Slime. Void Slime is a 3-2 cast instant. So 1 set of Simic color and an extra blue. It has says counter target spell, activated ability, or triggered ability. So we already rebuild this card from our Secret Lair Prime Slime with a new art also. So says here, by Simic Research Note, it is technically an ooze, but its lifespan measures only seconds. In that short time, its appetite for magic is extraordinary. Next we have Guardian Project. So a 4-2 cast enchantment, 3 generic and 1 green. And this will be our final rare card. So Guardian Project can be paid with 3 generic and 1 green. And says here, whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under our control, if it doesn't have the same name as another creature we control or creature card in our graveyard, we draw a card. Then the flavor text says here, Simic strength comes from its diversity. So this one is very good or goes well with Morph deck. So currently I'm using this one in my Kadena, but I'm also planning to have a Timur base Morph deck, so I can include this one to my Animar. So that's our final rare card. So now we go into our tokens. So we have here for our token 5 green oozes, and at their back is 5 green frog lizards. Now we have our non-basic lands, so a set of Simic Gilgate with 2 new arts. Then our bounce land, also a set, Simic Growth Chamber. Then we have the Guild Kid exclusive basic lands. So we have 8 islands here and 8 forests that marks also or bear the marks of the Simic combine. Then we go into our common and uncommon cards. We have Rapid or Rabid, or rather the first I said Rapid Hybridization, 2 of those. Then a pair also of Simic Signet, an Applied Biomancy, a Miming Slime, an Urban Evolution, Experiment 1, 2 Cloudfin Raptor, a pair of Coiling Oracle, 2 Simic Guildmage, Elusive Crisis, a Plaguecaster Frogling, a Trigon Predator, a Skitter Eel, a Frilled Mystic, 12 Bread, Guardian, a Galloping Lizard, and a Nimbus Swimmer. So we don't have any Shark to Crab here. So that's the content of our box. So it's not that it's in minimum. We have 4 legendary creature inside the box. So now we proceed to our pack. So this is a 20 card drop booster of Commander Legends. So here we have a copy token, one-sided only. Then we have our foil normal or foil wrong turn. So wrong turn is a 3 to cast instant, 2 generic and 1 blue that our opponent gains control of a target creature. Then it doesn't change control at the end of combat or at the end of turn. So it says here, its bewildered bellow is met with a stern shh. Then we have also the non-foil version of the wrong turn. So it goes well also in the deck because the wrong turn also is color blue. Same as in the Simic, combines one color. So here we have a rare legendary creature, Mr. Hans Eriksson. So Hans Eriksson is a 4-2 cast, 1/4 legendary creature, human scout, 2 generic and 1 set of dual colors. So whenever Hans Eriksson attacks, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it onto the battlefield tap and attacking, defending player, or a planeswalker they control. Otherwise, put that card into your hand when you put that card into your hand. Then when you put a creature card onto the battlefield this way, it fights Hans Eriksson. Then Hans Eriksson says here, nothing could ruin such a fine day, Safi. So Safi Eric's daughter is here at the back. So maybe this is the prelude scene before Hans Eriksson was eaten by the Lurgoyf. And if you will, I don't know if you saw or you noticed this one. So Hans Eriksson has Eric son, while Safi Eric's daughter, if you will pronounce it, it's like daughter. So son and daughter. So we will still wait for their father. Maybe the name is Eric. So there we go. So Eric's son and Eric's daughter. So Safi is there. Next we have another legend and Abomination of Llanowar. So I think this will be our 4th word. Although I'm not sure if we already used this one, but again, it will also remind us for the meaning if we already search for this one. So the 4th word is Abomination. So Abomination of Llanowar is a 3-2 cast legendary creature elf horror with a star for its power and toughness, 1 generic and 1 set of Golgari colors. So it has vigilance and menace. So its power and toughness are each equal to the number of elves we control plus the number of elves in our graveyards. So it says here, run, scream its living mouths. This one I think. Then the other one says, come, cried its dead ones. So the dead ones is asking this man to come, while the living ones or living mouth says a warning to run for the man here in the picture. So this is our 4th word, Abomination. Then we have our uncommon and common cards. So Shimmer Mirror. And I think this will be also our last word. So Shimmer Mirror. Shimmer Mirror is a 3-2 cast 2/2 artifact creature mirror that has flash. So 3 generic only. So as long as this in the battlefield, or we already play this one. So all artifact creatures or artifact spells we play has flash. So we can play that one like an instant. Then it says here, it evades directions by hiding in the spaces between seconds. So Shimmer Mirror also was a rare from way back. I think I already revealed this one and I already give the information that it was rare from Scars of Meridian Black and it was downgraded now to uncommon. So this is our last word, Shimmer. Next we have Warden of Evo's Isle, Furnace Celebration, a Staunch Stone Guard, a Prophetic Prism, Seraph of the Dawn, Stone Fury, Sanitarium Skeleton, Moss Diamond, Scrounging Bandar, Corpse Churn, Flood of Recollection, Welding Sparks, Typecrafter's Gift, Scholars of Stars, and a Whipscale Predator. So, finally we already finished revealing our pack, and also finished already unboxing our guild kit, or the last guild kit we have. So now I think we ought to reveal all the legendary creatures in the pin and the dice that we got from the guild kits, or 10 guild kits. So here we have Isperia, and we just put them just like this. So we'll make space for them all. Take this one, and we will put like this. So we'll just showcase what we had. I already prepared some here in the other side. So here we have 10 here. So at least we can see what we got all, and the dice and all our guild pins. So we're almost finished. Almost finished. One more to go, or two more to go rather. Then we're off to the last one. Then we have here our 10. So I will just move our camera to see them all. So this is our 10 legendary creatures that features in the Ravnica or Ravnica set guild kits.